A lot of fantasy managers are fading Rashee Rice, and I get it. But there's one major detail they're overlooking, and it might mean he's available all season. I'll explain that in a second. Let's go back to the beginning of last season. Rice was the overall wide receiver 2 in fantasy points per game through the first 3 games. Only Malik Neighbors was ahead of him, before Mahomes lowered his shoulder into Rice's leg in week 4. In those first 3 games, Rice earned 33% of Mahomes' targets. That's alpha wide receiver 1 territory. And once he became a full-time player back in his rookie year in week 12, he was the wide receiver 7 overall in fantasy points per game. As a rookie, that's not a hype, that's production. And the injury? It wasn't an ACL, it wasn't an MCL or a PCL, it was a torn LCL. And by early April, Rice was already running his full route tree, so he should be ready for training camp. Now, people are shifting their attention to Xavier Worthy, but from week 4 on last year, with plenty of opportunity, he had just one wide receiver 1 finish during the fantasy season. But yes, he did flash at the end of the year with 4 20-point games if you're counting some of the games in the playoffs, but Rice will be back and he'll be the one getting peppered with those gimme routes underneath. And here's the part most fantasy managers are missing. Yes, a suspension is looming, but our friend and fantasy football lawyer Drew Davenport says the case hasn't moved in over 13 months and it's likely to keep moving slowly. He believes it's pretty unlikely Rice even sees a courtroom in 2025, which makes it likely that a suspension doesn't hit until 2026. So if he's healthy, he's already trusted, he's already performed at a wide receiver 1 level, and he's active week 1, and he might not be suspended until 2026, he's picking up right where he left off. So I'm buying the dip before it's too late.